It's just not, okay, there we go. I've seen other people complaining about the YouTube Zoom. It's a real, they're the real ones. Okay. Where are you guys? Okay, that's pretty small. What are we going to draw today? I haven't decided. So if anyone has any ideas, I'm just going to try to draw a walnut. I've never drawn a walnut before. I sort of know what one looks like. It's got like a lippy seam going around. I'm tempted to look one up, but for me, I like the challenge. Wait, am I misremembering this? Are the shells of walnuts like wrinkly like a brain? That's not the insides of walnuts. The insides of walnuts, no, the insides of walnuts just look like this, right? Like they just kind of like fit inside and they're just like a little nut. All right. I think the shell of walnut is like a little brainy, a little brainiac. All right. So there, pardon me, one day at home and then back to traveling. What's the song? There's an Alvin and the Chipmunks version of On the Road Again. So Alvin and the Chipmunks, really interesting, all done by one guy, David. Back in the day, I'm sure since then it has changed, but the guy who invented it was, I think, in the late 50s or early 60s. Um, is it David Sullivan? Something like that. And he wrote all the music. Um, what's it called? Dave Seville. Isn't that? No, I think that's Dave Seville is the name of the character. But I think the name of the person who invented or created the Chipmunks is, I thought, David Sullivan, but I could be mistaken. This is like a half memory of something I learned literally one time. And he used like speeding up and recording technologies that were relatively new at the time in order to make the Chipmunks. All right, well, that's a walnut, I guess. What's another nut? It's like somehow I draw a mirror and it's just you. And then I'm like, haha, you're the nut. Let's draw a peanut. So yeah, Dave, gosh, I don't know what this cough is. Dave Sullivan. And it goes on the road again. And then usually it's like, I can't wait to get on the road again. But in this one, Alvin's singing, I can't wait to get off the road again. And that he's like, we're going places we've already been. And basically, he's like complaining about touring. And I always found that really relatable as a kid. I don't know why. I just realized how doofy that is. I'm trying for a peanut. Peanuts have like that weird grid thing going on. Oh, hey, Janine or Jeannie, bromine. Oh, thank you so much, the walnut. Hi, sun solar system. Yeah, let's try to make a sun. Let's do it. Where's the sun? Okay. So I think we can go two ways with the sun, right? We can do something like this and have it be a little bit realistic. I mean, obviously, we're not going to get realistic just with pencil and paper, with it, graphite and paper color. Oh, sun mirrors. Yeah, one of those sun mirrors. Jenny. Oh, it's just Jenny. Okay, awesome. Thank you for letting me know. All right, yeah. So we could do something like this, right? And you have like seagulls and like it's at the beach, I guess. Let me zoom out so you can see the whole thing. It's at the beach. and like it's reflecting in the water. And that can be sun. And there's like a sparkle. Pew, shoo, shoo. Or we could do like a fantastical sun, right? We could do like a something that has a lot of stylization. Let's try. I like the idea of it being thin towards the middle and then thicker as it goes further out, because that's sort of how rays work on on a certain level. And let's do. It's easier to kind of turn the paper and get some good slots going. A ghost or a turkey? Yeah. Oh, hey, pollo. I don't know what traje is, but chicken with. Oh my God. Okay. So my wife's mom makes arroz con pollo, and it's good. We always really like it. And I went to tell my wife, "Oh, there's arroz con pollo," and I kept saying uh, chicken con pollo, which is just chicken with chicken. And she's like, "What are you saying?" And I'm like, "Oh, there's chicken con pollo." And she's like, "No, I don't think you." And finally, I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's arroz con pollo. I'm so silly." And then we went to go get it. I'm Doodle Bob. Hey, Doodle Bob, spicy booger man. Oops, sorry. And finally, we went to go get it, and it was biryani. It wasn't chicken con pollo at all. Oh man, that's an embarrassing. I shouldn't have told you guys that. It's now that'll live forever, and I'm the dummy.
You're gonna get canceled.
I'm gonna get canceled. That's my lovely wife telling me I'm gonna get canceled for saying chicken con pollo. Yeah, but it was arroz con pollo. This is the Graph Gear 500. It's a very good pen. It's a pencil. I put most of the time I have this lead in it, but right now it's a little bit different. It's the Einstein version instead of the Ein version. Same brand and everything, just like a slightly different type. So I like, we have all the like straight lines, and now I'm doing like some kind of free form, still sort of like ray type. I'm doing them a little further out. And this for me is like the fire and the heat of the sun, still fitting in symbolically with everything else. And just giving it a little bit of kind of variation and the growing, and like the sun is so radiant that to just draw it without like as being circular without having some sort of, there we go. Oh, thank you so much, Jenny. Oh yeah, ghost or turkey. So yeah, so that's my stylized sun. Let me get something to drink. All right. Let's see if we can fit a turkey in here. So I see turkeys all the time. I used to live more out in the country, and there were these big old turkeys, wild turkeys. And the craziest thing about them is they'd be like on the roof of the school, or like up on top of they would fly up onto into trees to roost. They were nutty. I had no idea turkeys could be so like big and scary and loud and fly. They only usually fly at night. I don't know if this is exactly what a turkey looks like. I was gonna look up a reference. I usually would for an animal, but I didn't. I'm kind of going on like what a cultural turkey looks like, and also what I half remember from my evening walks. So something like, oh, I bet you they have like chickens, like talony feet. I gave him a flipper, but he more likely has those grippy, clawy, scary talons. By the way, hi, Avi. If I get caught by my dad on my tablet, I'll be in. Oh, well, you shouldn't risk being in trouble. Um, yeah, that's my advice. Being in trouble sucks. I have him turn his head a little bit. We'll give him a little like feather collar. This is what is this called? The waddle. This is the waddle. I might have my colored pencils nearby, and maybe I can color the waddle in red along with the top of the beak. All right, this is my best random turkey. Hey, Raquel. Thank you, Aquad. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, I do. Oh no, this is not my colored pencils. Okay. Hi, Polar. Let's see. Oh, and then like behind this turkey in the far distance. So I actually, when I went for my walk, I would walk right by a graveyard, and that's where I would see most of the turkeys. Um, yeah. So there's like a ghost in the background of this turkey drawing. Can you see that? Because it takes place in the graveyard in my mind. All right. What's next? Oh, I do not understand the Cyrillic. Sorry about that. Let's see. So sometimes if I don't know what to draw, I'll just kind of draw some random shapes and then see what pops up. Like here, I just drew some little drawings and then, oh, circus tent. Right. Totally forgot. This was Casper. The friendly ghost, see? Meow. He has a little arm. He's waving. Hey. A little too eager, if you ask me. What do you? All right, circus tent. Yeah, circus tents are really interesting because, like, they're huge, right? And to put them up is like a real. They're real buildings. They have to be as structurally sound as a building. They're they're temporary, but they are buildings, and I just think that's really interesting. It reminds me of, and like sometimes they have floors, or even rather often they have floors. It reminds me a lot of, what are they called? Yurts. I grew up right outside of New York City, and you would always hear stories of, the big, what was it? The, gosh, I am at a loss. New York is the Big Apple. The stories I'm thinking about are, what's his name? Gosh, Ripley? No, that's somebody else. Big Ring? Anyway, circuses. I love the
Barnum and Bill.
Barnum and Bailey. Yes. I love the, thank you very much. Imagery, the aesthetic of a circus. Oh, I've done like the back of the tent. I didn't even think about that.
Could you move the drawing a little
Can you move it higher? So then I imagine there's posts inside. So then it would be like something like this. And then we'll start adding some stripes because I think classically they have stripes. I don't know. Like maybe this is a little too tall now that I'm seeing it, so it doesn't look quite right. I want it to be very grand. Let's make it, we'll do this, but then we'll also just like have an opening. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have like a rolled up opening here. Like a massive, and then that way we can like draw something inside so we can get an idea for how big it is. I can add some scale that way. Okay. We got some giant stakes in the ground. Let's see. Yeah, it's the big top. That's what I think I was trying to say before. I think I just got confused as a kid between Big Apple and Big Top. And so in my mind, like New York and the circus were inextricably linked. I think there's something called the Big Apple Circus, and that's part of the problem. That like you used to go on field trips and stuff too. I guess a lot of circuses have stopped doing the animals, like the animal, yeah, the Big Apple Circus, yeah. All right, I think let's do, look, that guy's kind of far away. We can also have it be like, I'm trying to remember, like, I know there's like iconic imagery of the big tent. What is it called? The big top. I think this is as good as I get. The circus tents are always striped, so we'll give it a little stripe. I feel like the circus and the carnival have always also been like confused in my mind. Were they kind of the same thing? Like, or of the same ilk back in the day? Because I know Barnum and Bailey, right? Barnum did all sorts of crazy things. He bought a fake giant that he knew was fake because somebody had built it. And then he was like, he, you know, said he found a giant skeleton that was just made of concrete. And then when he was confronted, he was like, oh no, this one's made of concrete because I didn't want the real one to get damaged, which is hidden away. And it's like, man, that's great. Like what a guy. All right, if that's the ticket booth, I think we can see how big this is. There's a guy in the center. Maybe there's someone on a ball. That's the big ring. He's wearing a top hat. All right. Let me zoom in. Is it? There you go. Oh, hello, Brianna. Can I draw you spicy radial stripes? Oh, radial. Yeah, yeah. You're probably right. I can't see your. Oh, thank you so much, Brianna. Hi, Chance. All right, let's draw something else. I can't see your spicy burger man. I can't see your profile picture, and I only have the one device today because I'm on a travel stream. Otherwise, I would give it an attempt.
I think it's Doodle Bob.
Hmm?
I said I think it's Doodle Bob. It's SpongeBob, but it's a doodle.
Oh, I could try to draw SpongeBob. SpongeBob from memory. Okay, I don't know Doodle Bob, but I can look it up.
Oh yeah, you did say that before.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How about I try to draw SpongeBob from memory, and it'll come out something like that. Where am I? All right. So I actually do a stream sometimes, it's been a while, where I try to draw cartoons from memory. And I don't have a visual memory. I have what's called aphantasia. So I do not have a visual center like imagination at all. They say basically my visual center is instead it's like spatial reasoning and stuff. It's an interesting. Okay, gosh. Does he have? Well, he must have a mouth. And then he has suspenders. Wait, he has a nose. Is that true? Gosh, I did not think this was going to be hard. I was like, oh, I'm sure I will get it. Maybe his suspenders just go here and not over his whole head. That feels better. He has some holes in them. Yeah, well, let me try first, and then we you can give me hints. These must be his pants. He has a collar. That's true. And a tie. Also true. These things I know as facts. So his pants have to start somewhere. So we'll give him pants. I know he has pants because it's in the name. Man, it would be diabolical if he was called SpongeBob SquarePants and he just did not have pants. Like, what the hell? Short sleeve shirt because he's a fry. I noticed that when he does the fry cooking, that he has a short sleeve shirt. Pam, spatula man. Is that in frame? Yeah. Spatula. Okay. Right, right. Yeah, his pants are not square. What the hell? At best, they're like they wouldn't even be square, they'd be cubed. And at least then there would be some squares, right? But they're not. They're like a rectangular prism. I don't even think there's one square in them. I'll give him some lids. Some eyelids, I don't know why. Some cheeks. There's something going on I'm missing here. All right, that's my best guess. Oh, his hand is sad. Hi. That's my best guess. It's SpongeBob without looking it up. Oh yeah, do people think it's SpongeBob Square Pants? So in the UK, pants means underpants. Do they call him SpongeBob Square Trousers? That's pretty funny, even if I do say so myself. Okay, let's look up. Man, and what's crazy is I just looked at Doodle Bob. Okay, it's pretty. Doodle Bob is. Oh man, SpongeBob looks a lot like Doodlebob's. Okay, SpongeBob has a belt, so I didn't get the belt. I'll add a little belt in. And SpongeBob has buck teeth. Okay, first draw a rectangle will do. This better be actually funny and not a practical joke. I can sort of draw people. Hello, Sahil. Square on top of the rectangle. All right. I can't see. I don't have a second device. Usually I have another like screen. Hmm. So far, I think it's okay. All right, let's draw something else. Then search up SpongeBob on Google. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Brianna. Let's see. What's something? Oh, we could draw. I could draw his pineapple house from my memory. We'll do it in the background here. Let's see. Like, I kind of know what a pineapple looks like, so I'm just going to start with that. I drew it so close to the edge of the paper. Just imagine the spikes are better. Sometimes, like, a drawing would totally fit between where I'm drawing and the edge of the paper, but because the edge of the paper there, I get, like, confused. Oh, thank you so much, Josiah. Okay, I think he has portholes because I think I remember an episode where he opens a porthole and like yells out asking for Gary. And I was always like, oh, that's a porthole. That's clever because he's under the sea. And then I'll draw two because and not next to each other. Oh wait, and don't the houses in SpongeBob, don't they just have like open doors? Like no doors? I can't remember. Some seagrass, a little shell or something. Uh, all right. What, there's just diapers, diaspora. uh, yeah, I mean, so I remember when I was in high school, there was a picture in the New York Times. I think it was in some magazine. And basically, they were like, this, like, based on genetic testing to um, of people. It was some interesting um, study where they had found like what would have been the closest relations to Jesus if like the people they think were the people were actually the people they think they were. Because like they have found some interesting graves and stuff like that where, or at least at the time they had thought so. Because everyone's like, if you follow these like religious finds, I can't see hey MF Jiggy. I can't see your profile picture because I don't have a let's see. Let me see if I can do it here.
Yeah, I think, let me get it.
Um, there'll be these like religious finds that'll be like, oh, we found this out about like the time of Jesus or the Tower of Babel or whatever it is. And it'll seem like, oh, okay, that's a thing. But then it'll be like retracted. Like later it'll be have been faked or it'll be proven to not be the thing that it was. And so I'm always on the lookout for those because the retractions don't get anywhere near as much attention as the initial stories. And like I get why it's not crazy that they don't, but what it does lead to is you'll be like, oh, there's this thing I'm pretty sure of that I read about, and they presented it as fact,
Oh, you already got it.
and then you'll, oop, sorry about that.
Let's just spread it.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. 6 7 to the 67. Yeah, here, I'll do that quick. I think we can get you, Brianna. How is your face? Okay. Whoop. Slip. Oh, okay, yeah. Hair, no hair. This shape of eye, flat bottom, rainbow. Little heart on the nose. Whoop. Where are these ears? Oop. Gotta bust out the eraser. Something like that. And then add a little, oh, need eyebrows. Eyebrows bring people to life.
I think you knocked it so that the drawing was too long.
Hello, paper bag. Ooh, yeah, I'll draw a paper bag. That sounds fun. All right. So I really like drawing. It's something that was so hard for me, and it's still hard for me. I don't want anyone to think like uh, I'm going to do a good job. Um, but I really like drawing crumply things or sort of papery things, foldy things like leaves or paper bags. I practiced it a lot because I thought it'd be really good. Oh, thank you so much, uh, Mr. Possessive. Hi, Cosmo. Oh, thank you. And this one I want to come from here, and this I want to go this way. Okay, my lines got confused. And I think like just practicing it and practicing it made me like it, even though like, and I've gotten better. I don't like, I am better at drawing paper stuff or crumbly stuff now. But it used to be such a struggle for me, and now I really like it. This is back there. Draw that. I think this has to come out like this. And we'll do like a lot of these paperbacks have like this, that like middle part. And they have like the top teeth. I don't know why. Oh, a tutorial on how to sketch. That's hard because I think there's a couple in the room next to mine fighting. I thought it was the TV for a while, but I just heard something like there started to be yelling and then there was like throwing. So that's sucks. Yeah, because anything you draw is going to be different, or anything you want to sketch is going to be different. Uh, I think I can give a very basic tutorial that might actually come in useful. Um, so there's two things that I would say. First, that are kind of part of the tutorial, kind of separate, is you got to keep doing it, right? You're gonna be not as good when you start, and you're gonna get better. That's how things work. You just have to keep up. It might feel like you don't progress, you're progressing. And then, oh yeah, this is paper bag man. Oh wait, this is actually interesting. uh, and then the second thing is, well, that's the first thing. That's separate from sketching. Um, and then I would say part of sketching is you should start like if you're going to draw a face, for example, you start with the shape and then you like add things in lightly and feel free to move it around or change it. The sketch is you want it to be loose and like this is like the first draft, right? It's like when you write an outline for an essay. This is not the final product. Don't get bogged down in the details on a first pass. Do a couple of passes before you get into the detail. Yeah, so I think there's some stuff that comes with practice that like you will be rusty at, but will come back to you faster than it would if you had never done it. And then I also think there will be stuff that you will just know that is not that didn't get lost. Oh, digital art's great. I do a lot of my color and stuff in digital art. I'm better at this part in person, right? Like this kind of creation in pencil. But that's just because pencil is my medium. I'm better at color digitally, but that's because that's where I had all my practice doing color. Yeah, this is paper. But I do have a tablet, like a drawing tablet that hooks up to the computer, and I use Photoshop to do color and Corel Paint sometimes to do add color to some of my illustrations. All right, gosh, what? I don't know what to draw. I saw an hourglass like a long time ago. I really thought it would be cool to get an hourglass that was actually an hour because I had something I had to do and it would take an hour. I can't remember what it was, and I was like, I'm gonna be doing this all the time. I need a timer. It would be really great to have an hourglass because I also I don't want to just stop. Like if I don't notice the time's up, that would be even better. Like I thought an hourglass would be perfect. Like it would keep track of how long it had been, but it wouldn't distract me and it would look cool. Well, this is terrible. And I could not find an hourglass. Like there was a couple that were decorative, but they just ran for however long. They didn't have any Oh, thank you, Mr. Positive. Can you give me an idea on who to draw? Drawing is like figuring out what to draw is terribly hard. I have a trick that I've used that has served me well. I draw a cartoon, like a little comic strip for my wife and myself every day. And it has these two characters. And so I have to draw them every day. And I definitely, even if I don't do any other drawing, I get a little bit of practice drawing these guys and I put them in all sorts of situations. And it allows me to get some sort of practice every day. I think that has really helped me because even though they're like simple cartoons, um, this is Stella. They, they end up being moved around. They end up like, I want to draw them in weird places. And because I'm not, oh, thank you so much. Because I'm not sharing this with anybody, right? I mean, I might share them at some point, but they don't need to be perfect. They're not for anybody. They're just something I do for myself. It allows me the freedom to let them be messed up or try things I wouldn't normally try. And they started out looking so much different from this. We have some of the older ones, and I was looking at them like a couple of weeks ago, and they are crazy how I'll give you a sample of what they used to look like. They are uh this is not generally their personality. Usually Stella is much more outgoing and Steffi is much more reserved, but Steffi is awake and Stella was asleep, so that's why. Oh yeah, so what they used to look like, this is my best approximation. First, I used to draw them much, much smaller. So I used to draw them. This was Stella. This is better than it used to be. And this was Steffi. This is funny. Steffi was like, I just saw them, so I'm trying to remember. Yeah. So I drew them like this when I started, and then after drawing them just every day, I didn't even realize really, but they changed into these guys. And like I have a bunch of rules that are just like in my head about how to draw them to make them look like themselves, and it's been a really cool experience. And I it's helped me draw everything else. like everything else. I don't even know because these seem so simple, but it really has like the practice, I guess, has really changed. All right, let's see. I'm trying to draw an hourglass. I'm not gonna, this is too much. When I think of an hourglass, I think of that one scene in Aladdin. Is it the first one where he is stuck in a, yeah, that's exactly right, Mr. Possessive. Um, I never see, you never see your like progress until you like look at your old stuff. I really agree with that. Sometimes too, you look at your old stuff and you're like, oh, this is better than I remember. I thought I was bad. So there's a little bit of both, I think. Yeah, so a script for a Stella Steffi, what would that be like? It's not, that's not too bad. I should do it lighter. Why am I doing it so heavy? Okay. Yeah, so then I looked into it, and to get precise hourglass, you need to use like the tiniest little um uh yeah, I think that's, oh, is it Jasmine who's stuck? I thought it was Aladdin who was stuck in the um hourglass. It had pieces. Yeah, that happens too, where you think um something is good and you go back and you're like, oh, that was terrible. But that's also good because because back then you couldn't see what was wrong with it, and now you can. And because you can see what is wrong with it now, that is evidence that you're a better artist because you can, like, the first step to being able to do something better is to be able to know what's better, right? And so that's what I try to tell myself. Um, and I think it's important. I think it's true. Like, an overlooked step in growing as an artist or growing in any capacity, I'd say, is first seeing that you need to grow, right? I don't know who's here. Jasmine, just like a sumo wrestler, top knot. Maybe it is TV and he threw something or she threw something. Yeah. I don't know why the sumo wrestler is here. The sumo wrestler doesn't know why he's here. It's a real weird experience, this. Hi, Outer Chaos. Gosh, what were we talking about? Yeah, I think it's good not to, like, I think you're right. Like, it can really mess with your perceptions. There are some artists who so I don't know anybody like that, although maybe I used to be a little bit like that, that I really didn't like my art from start to finish. But there are some artists who have some sort of like weird relationship with their art. Like one of my friends are uh, like he's always saying how he thinks he's cheating, or like he thinks his art is actually bad because he didn't do it the right way, or like he used a reference and so it's not real. Like everything is, he has some like impossible standard about like what counts as real art and what counts as like what makes it good and what makes it real and what's allowed. This is from Aladdin. He'll be okay. Yeah, that's exactly, I agree. Like it's way too hard on himself. Yeah, so apparently hourglass sand, in order to make it run at the exact right time, the sand has to be like machined down to be like perfectly round. That in modern times, I'm sure back in the day, you would get a piece of glass and you would add some sand that was as fine as you could get, and you would flip it over and you'd see if it lasted about an hour. And if it did, you would like, and it was a little long, you'd take some sand out and you'd try again until you got it to go an hour. But nowadays, in order to manufacture, they want to be able to put in like exactly the right sand, make the thing, boom. And because of that, they want the sand to be these tiny, like roundish, like smooth, tiny little pieces so that it will fit precisely through the, like, I don't know, the straw in the center. Oop. And so they're really expensive. Well, I'm sure they used to always be expensive, but they're also uncommon. Like I had a hard time even finding a like the kinds I was looking for. Actually, this was years ago, actually, so maybe they're fine now. Maybe somebody figured it out. Maybe AI was like, oh, I can make hourglasses now. All right, what's next? What time is it? 11:52? Hmm. Yeah, I love that. I'm always thinking about those fancy vanities. So there's two types of fancy vanities, right? You have the kind that are like Victorian, right? And they have the big thing and you're like sitting, you sit on it and like a lady in waiting brushes your hair or you comb your hair 1,000 times. And then you have the one where it's like it's in a dressing room and it's this big old mirror on the wall and these giant lights. They're soft white. That's why they're so big because that's how you get these big soft white, like to not cast any shadows. And there's five of them, so your face has as little shadows as possible, and you can really see your damn face for putting on your makeup and everything. And then those will have a little counter. So I'm going to split the difference and do. It's like everything's going to fall off the edge if we do it like that. There we go. I have a pitch. Make it uncomfortable. The vanity or the. Okay, I'm very crooked here. Okay, let's bust out the big guns. Oh my gosh. One of my first shorts that did really well um, was a pickle, or that I was really proud of. I think one of the first shorts I like edited and I was really proud of was a pickle that I had drawn because my grandmother for Christmas would always hide a pickle ornament on a tree, not just any tree, on the Christmas tree. And then the youngs would all go find it, and whoever found it would get it like an extra. Well, so it wasn't an extra present. I think it used to be an extra present, right? And then as like we all got older and it started feeling bad, or like not feeling bad. Actually, I don't think anyone really complained, but some people would win the pickle every time, and that's okay. But I think my nana, I think she wanted. Why can't I get this straight today? I would usually just bust out the ruler, but I'm not at home. Okay, I am going to stop trying to make this straight. Um, now I'm just this is as straight as it gets. An adult script. Okay, yeah. So this is like a fancy vanity with the big lights. So these are the big lights. But here, I'll show you what we drew. We drew a sumo wrestler stuck in a hourglass. These are characters that I come and I draw every day, Stella and Steffi. We drew a big top circus. We drew what Jesus looks like. We drew somebody's profile picture. You can tell because I put it in a circle. We drew SpongeBob from my memory. Not that great. And we did his house. Bop, 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 ba, da, bop, bop. Oh, that's good. And oh yeah, and we did a paper bag with eye holes cut into it. Do you think would that, and then like the nose would be here, and you could probably see out of this, but you'd have to have all of like your head would only fill up to like here, or like upside down. Your head would only fill up to like here. This would be your head, and like your nose could be here, I guess, and then here would be your mouth. So then your head would just be like sticking out the bottom like this. And then where's your neck? What? Why is the chin so? Okay, that's the. And you're like, oh, my head's in a paper bag. My neck is weirdly shaped because the guy who's drawing me doesn't understand how proportions go. All right, let's finish this vanity. Bam, bam, bam. All right, so I'm going to do. Come on, come on. So we'll do like an atomizer, which is that like thing with the big puffy thing that sprays perfume or whatever it is into the air and makes it a very, very fine mist. That's called an atomizer, which I didn't know until like, I don't know, some time that I did. We'll put like a label on this. This will be a fancy, we'll call it um, Dijo or something like that. I don't know. I don't know perfumes. Why is there? Oh, that's the side of that. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, Thomas the Tank Engine. So I worked at a toy store for like 15 years, and we sold a lot of Thomas the Tank Engine. And I think I'm just too old for Thomas the Tank Engine. We did not have Thomas the Tank Engine when I was a kid. Instead, we had Brio. So it was train sets. It just wasn't any specific, they didn't have faces. And like I was obsessed with the train sets. We built the trains and I say we, I built all the tracks and did all that stuff, the same as a lot of young boys. And then as I got older, like they had this show like Thomas the Tank Engine. And I was not interested in that because that was for babies. But I ended up building tons and tons of Thomas the Tank Engine um, tables and stuff for people over the years because like that was in my job. That's what I was doing. Okay, what else goes on a vanity? Like cold cream, cold cream. You guys know. I don't know, maybe you don't. We'll do some cold cream. We'll do it so it's like left open. I think that's funnier. I think that's more like it makes it lived in, which is nice. We have to just throw the lid somewhere. Why don't we put it right next to it, even on top of it? So close to getting it right. So close to putting it away. We'll do, so it's just all sorts of, it's anything you need a mirror for, really. So let's do some like a box of eyelashes. I had no idea that people put on fake eyelashes, like until I was like an adult. I think I was dressing for something for Halloween, and they were like, "Oh, just put on these. You can do like fake eyelashes." I think it was like David Bowie or something. Oh, hairbrush. That's so right. Thank you, Carla. And I was like, fake eyelashes. Oh, that's crazy. Is this new for Halloween? Like, is this something? That's the person was like, no, it's really common. You just put you just glue it on, and I was blown away. So cool, a little uncomfortable, but neat. I'm doing the little dots to try to like, the top of the. I'm not like matching them up or anything. I'm just helping to like make the circle to like the shape that I want the bristles to be on the top. It sort of just makes it so they look like they have an end. I think a hairbrush is really good. We'll give that a little shadow, give it a little place. We'll give this a little shadow. Same with that. Just you added like if you can put something in its place, if you can attach it to the thing it's on top of, then that really will sell it. That like it'll exist then, and it'll help make it look real. I'm just gonna just a tiny bit of reflection. All right. Put a deodorant on there. I don't know. Uh, oh, we'll do some lipstick, I think. We'll have it standing up. Some blush. Not blush. What's the what's the powder? I think we can do some random tubes and like concealer, and they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, so I think we're okay to just kind of put some of that stuff down here and there. Little tubs and yeah, foundation. Yeah. Let's We'll do like a blender, like a beauty blender. Maybe some brushes, like we can do a blush brush. It's kind of in the same position as the other one. That's not that great, but you get it. We'll do some eyebrow pencils or eyeliner. This is starting to look like this is a real one. Oh, some hair ties, a scrunchie, some clips on the side of the mirror. All right. Yeah, lipstick. I got one sitting here, but we'll do a second one. It's like where the lipstick goes. That's like a number on the bottom. Chapstick over here somehow. There we go. Hmm. Let's make. Oh yeah, that's fine. Oh, why don't we do a whole palette, like an eyeshadow palette? I can't believe I missed that. And we'll even do. Oh, we'll do like a little bowl filled with cotton balls and a sleeve of those like circle cotton pads. Yeah, I was thinking mascara. I guess it's just like a longer, thinner tube. And it's like It's gonna be, and maybe it has like a brush handle kind of sticking out. Oh, you know what? We're gonna, I think we'll, because it's fancy, I think we'll like say it hangs up or something. Yeah, it'll have a hook and we'll do a hair dryer. What do hair dryers look like? Oh, they have like the really big back end. Yeah, there we go. The hair dryer. And the wire goes off to who knows where, hanging on a cute little hook. All right, I should have zoomed out a little bit. This was fun. I think we could do more like a curling iron and stuff. I have to like stick it back here, and that's how real now it's starting to look like a real vanity. Like everything's knocking everything over. Yeah, I don't think I can squeeze anything else in. We could go in and do some erasing to like help solidify some stuff. I tried to draw everything so you wouldn't have to do any erasing, but there's some stuff that I definitely drew over other stuff. Whoops. So I could quick clean that up. The lid goes over the container. All right, I think I'm gonna head to bed. Thanks so much for stopping in for the stream tonight. We did a lot of cool stuff. Let's just go over it real quick before I head out. We have the sumo wrestler stuck in a, oh, I'm all zoomed out. A sumo wrestler stuck in a, like Aladdin, well, when Aladdin was the genie who's trying to save, you know. These are Stella and Steffi. They say hi. We have a vanity, a fancy vanity, and a backstage somewhere. We did a circus tent. We did somebody looks like Jesus, somebody's profile picture. We did SpongeBob SquarePants from my memory and his house. And we did a paper bag, which turned into a paper bag guy. All right, this was a fun stream. Oh, I forgot. We did a turkey, we did a walnut, we did this sun, we did a Casper the Friendly Ghost, we did this sunset. This is actually the first thing. Well, the walnut was first, and then the peanut, and then we did this sunset. But yeah, I will try to stream tomorrow around the same time, hopefully a little bit earlier. And thanks so much for stopping in. I do shorts. I try to do drawing shorts pretty frequently and lives like 4 or 5 times a week. So subscribe if you want to see that. All right. Thanks. Bye.